You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to Part 4 of my rare DVDs. When I started doing the rare DVDs, I didn't think I'd make it this far, but I'm probably going to keep going because there's actually some stuff I was going to put in this one, but I couldn't find right now because I'm a very disorganized person. But that being said, I'm assuming this series will continue to go on as part of the DVD collection series because I keep getting more and more rare stuff. So to start off with today's video, we got a Blu-ray. This is the Yumi Neko When They Cry Premium Edition, which is the only edition in the US. This was released by NIS Media, and when they release stuff, they always do super limited prints, and they're always really expensive and hard to find, for the most part, and especially these big box ones. For comparison, that's a regular DVD case next to it. Then inside it comes with this one little small case with disc 1 in it. There's the disc and the insert for more NIS stuff. If you don't know, Yumi Neko is kind of a weird spin-off of Higurashi where they kind of take place in the same universe, and it actually kind of hints at it how in Higurashi Rei. But it is very much its own thing and doesn't connect very much other than that one small loose connection. There are also some scenes in this where characters are seen watching Higurashi. I don't know if that's supposed to be a news report or if it's just a meta joke or like a reference or something, but yeah. Volume 1 also has a second disc here in this slipcase. There's the back of that. And there's the disc itself. It also comes with this big booklet that shows you a bunch of stuff from the series. It's called a case file. So it has like a bunch of like behind the scenes stuff, character profiles and things like that. And it has some sketches, other things like that as well. Now here we have Volume 2. Unfortunately, the case is slightly broken and this book won't actually go in like it's supposed to anymore. It wouldn't go back in after I pulled it out the first time I actually opened it, so that unfortunately happened, but it is still pretty cool. There's the reverse side of the big case, and here's the disc in the inner case, rather. But I have actually reviewed Yumi Neko before on the channel, and it's a series which I think had a lot of missed potential. The biggest problem with it is it doesn't conclude the anime or the manga and visual novel story. It kind of stops midway through, as is my understanding. But they don't give any indication that it was supposed to keep going. It just kind of feels like a terrible ending. Not to mention the character motivations and things like that get a little bit muddled in this series. I still enjoyed it, but it's definitely the lowest point in the When They Cry franchise, in my opinion, although I have heard that the visual novels and manga are better. And once again, it comes with a big case file booklet. This is case file 2. Again, it has more behind-the-scenes stuff, character profiles, information, things like that. Now, I honestly can't remember if I've shown this one before, and if I have, I apologize, but this is Freddy's Nightmares, the series, Volume 1. Which was only released in Region 2, and these episodes 2 and 3 specifically, were included in one of the Blu-ray box sets in Region 1, but this is a Region 2 exclusive, and it does have Episode 1, which has not been released on DVD or Blu-ray in the States. However, it has had a VHS release, if I'm not mistaken. There's the disc itself. If you don't know, this series is basically Tales from the Crypt, but with Freddy Krueger as the Crypt Keeper. Although the first episode and a couple others do have him as the main focus of the plot, but not very many of them do. This one isn't a DVD, but this is a rare VHS that I own of the Abashiri family, which is one of Go Nagai's most underappreciated works, in my opinion, because it was the origin of Naojiro, who is my favorite non-Devilman Go Nagai character. I fucking love Naojiro, and this was where he originated. Well, the manga was, but yeah. Comes with this little booklet for ADV, which I think is kind of a throwback. And there's the white VHS that all Go Nagai tapes have. Now, I've had this box set for years, and I didn't realize that it is rare now. Specifically, the Region 1 version, which this is actually really rare now, whereas the Region 2 version of this exact same set is actually quite common. However, one thing that is worth mentioning is that this is actually just a repackage of the individual season sets, as you can see with these here. And these season sets themselves actually aren't that rare, but this box set specifically is actually incredibly hard to come by nowadays, and actually goes for a pretty penny online. Here's a closer look at Season 1. This is also one of the few British series that I've owned that actually says season instead of series, which I found very interesting. If you've never seen a bit of Fry and Laurie, I highly recommend it. In my opinion, in some ways it's actually better than Monty Python's Flying Circus. They're very similar series, they're both sketch comedies, and it's hard to say which one is wholly better. But in my opinion, Fry and Laurie is on par with Monty Python. Here's a closer look at Season 2. There's the back of the box and the disc itself. Here's a closer look at Season 3. There's the back of the box and the disc itself. And finally, we have the 4th and final season. There's the back of the case and the disc itself. Now here we have Kinnikuman Volume 1, or specifically Ultimate Muscle, which is actually Kinnikuman The Next Generation in Japan. But unfortunately, this version of the series is the only one that got released in the US. It is a sequel. and it was released on Foxbox, and only a couple of DVD volumes actually got released. This is Volume 1, which is pretty rare. Volume 2 is actually considerably rarer, but I don't have Volume 2. But I think it's really cool that I eventually did find a copy of it, because this has been something I've been looking for quite some time. Next up we have Bobobo, Bonafide Protector. I don't actually know if this set is rare, but I think it is, because you never see it online. But I did get it relatively cheap at a local game store that sells used movies and stuff like that. So now I haven't actually watched a ton of Bobobo. I've just seen clips of it here and there, and I think I've seen a couple of full episodes, but I do plan on watching this set because it is the first, I think, 4 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the first 4. Alright, here we have the original manga entertainment DVD of Devilman, which is actually pretty damn rare to come by. The actual dub that's included on here was re-released with the new Discotek Blu-ray, as was the sub, and this DVD is only dubbed anyway, but this set is rare and hard to find as well. I'm glad I own it, but there's the disc and insert. Now this is actually just shot up in price, this Blu-ray of Higurashi has, and it actually has gained a lot of value since when I first bought it, because I bought it for around $30, now it goes for over $100. There is a re-release of this that includes both Kai and Rei, and it's a little bit more affordable, probably because it's still in print or something like that. It is still $73, but it's for all the series, not including the OVAs, of course. For whatever reason, well, except for Rei. Rei is the only OVA series that's been released in the US. Outbreak and Kira never have. But yeah, there's discs 1 and 2, and discs 3 and 4. This one also is pretty rare, the Higurashi When They Cry Kai DVD. If I'm not mistaken, the DVD is actually harder to find than the Blu-ray now. It's not as rare as the Season 1 Blu-ray, I don't think, but Kai is the second season, if you're unaware. But yeah, there's disc 1. There's discs 2 and 3, discs 4 and 5. Here we have Dragon Ball Z Dragon Box 4, which is the only Dragon Box I own, but all of the Dragon Box sets themselves are actually pretty rare. Now this English Dragon Box is nowhere near as rare as the Japanese one, but I still thought it'd be best to own at least one Dragon Box in my collection, even though I do have the orange bricks, which a lot of people don't like, but those are the way that I intend to keep owning the series, because I really don't care about, how great the video quality and stuff like that is in some of the Blu-rays and things. But as you can see, it has 2 inner cases plus a book. And within the inner cases, each of them have 3 discs. There's the back of that inner case. There's the other 3 discs from the other one. And again, the back of that case is pretty similar. And here's the Dragon book. As you can see, it has Cell on it, and you open it up, and it actually has, a lot of similar stuff to the small booklets have, character information, episode guides, some original artwork that's pretty cool, things like that. It's a pretty cool booklet. And when you put the book and the 2 cases together, it makes Goku's back. Here we have MXC, which is, I've already shown Season 1 of this in one of the previous Rare DVDs videos. Well, here we have Season 2. There's the back of the case. There's the episodes list. As you can see right here, they have the Monsters one. That one's a highlight episode because they couldn't get the rights to most of the monsters that were depicted in that episode of Takeshi's Castle. There's discs 1 and 2. It also does include an episode of Takeshi's Castle. Here we have Volume 3, which, again, this is one of those shows that switched from seasons to volumes, which is a really irritating thing that happens, but it did. Volume 3 is the first half of Season 3, plus it includes 2 episodes of Takeshi's Castle as opposed to the one that Volumes 1 and 2 have. Also, Season 5 of MXC has never had a DVD release, so you're kind of stuck with just, Seasons 1 through 4, spread out across 5 volumes. Alright, now onto the Toshio Maeda stuff. We got La Blue Girl 1 and 2, which includes the first 2 episodes of La Blue Girl. This is Volume 1, as I like to call it. As you can see, I don't have the original case for this because I bought it disc only, but I will be printing out a reprint of the case to put on it for the time being until I come across a real version of the case. Here we have Volume 2, which has episodes 3 and 4. This is actually an older release, which is why it doesn't look as nice as some of the other cases did, and why the disc actually has no art on it. And then we have La Blue Girl Volume 3, which is episodes 5 and 6. And this is one of the newer releases, so the case for Volume 1 that I have would have been more like this. And there's the disc itself. Here we have Adventure Kid. There's the front of the case there. There's the back of the case. And I'll be doing a review of this series soon, but there's the disc. Anyway, that does it for this episode of Rare DVDs. This has been Fugitive Red Eye. Have a great day.